what underpins all of this, and it's got to be our mindset. It's got to be our attitude, and no one better at all than George Swift to help us by sharing some tips as to how to keep all this into context and perspective. So over to George.
Cool. Okay, thank you. Good to be here again, Julia. Good to see everyone else here. Yeah, great stuff as always. I'm normally up front, aren't I? So it's nice to be bringing it home this time around. I'm going to have a general discussion. I'm going to give you my 3 points at the end, but I just want to contextualize it a little bit. Julia, you touched on this at the beginning, but I just want to reiterate the numbers again that you were talking about, because this is something I'm really, really passionate about. I see myself, I take on that role and responsibility of being an ambassador for small business owners. We've got 70 plus members, over half this panel in my group right now. I've looked at the attendees, and about half those names there, if not more, were either are now in my current group or they have been in the group. And it's just so nice to see so many of the people that we've connected with and we've had that impact on, either still be in our club or still be present in our community, which I really love. So welcome everybody, whether you're on the panel or whether you're on the attendees. If you know me, I love you very much. So here's some things to put in context, because I tell you now, we are in tough times, and sometimes I get accused of being the harbinger of doom and stuff like that, which is interesting, because I am ultimately here to motivate, inspire, and whatever, but I am here to put a rocket up business owners' arses and to stir up some fight in them, to fight for themselves and to fight for each other. And this battle, if I can call it a battle, it's not over yet. As Julia says, it's going to get tougher, I believe. Hopefully things will iron out a bit. It won't be quite so up and down. But here's the thing I want you to understand: if you're a business owner and you're feeling a little bit stressed, a little bit struggling, especially if you're a business owner that feels a little bit like you might be on your own. As Julia says, 6 million businesses in the UK right now. All right, put that in perspective. 6 million businesses in the UK, 67 million people. That's including all the pensioners and the children and everything else. 5.94 million, that's 99% of them are small businesses. In other words, they have less than 50 employees. 48% of all UK employment is actually done by small business owners, under 48 employee business owners. We contribute to half of the workforce in the UK. 36% of all UK revenues come through small businesses, the same unit, under 40 employees. That's 1.6 trillion pounds come through our hands. We massively contribute 36% to the UK revenue, and 4.6 million of those are one-man bands. Okay, so even if you're sitting there on your own thinking, but it's just little old me, I don't really contribute much, it's just my small business, you are part of something phenomenal. You are part of something that is huge. And I tell you what, we forget sometimes just what we make, what we don't have in size as small business owners, we make up for in numbers. And we are growing fast. I mean, Julie mentioned the numbers, 72% growth in small businesses since 2000. So between 2000 and 2020, there's 2.5 million more of us, okay? And that's not new businesses, because obviously some businesses have gone. That's 2.5 million more businesses in 2020 than we had in 2000s. And right now, small businesses are one of those demographics that are being asked to pay a massive price for the actions that our governments are taking right now. And therefore, it's never been more important that we understand that we are not alone. We understand that we are part of something so much bigger, that we understand our responsibility to our own business, to ourselves, but also to the wider small business community. It's so important that we come together, whether it's through, BBB, we've been going 10 years, whether it's through Julia, whether it's through any of the groups of the people that are on here right now. If it's small groups or big groups, broad groups, network, it's so important to understand that it's never been more important that we come together and realize that we need to unite as a united force as we confront this common foe, right? The foe that we all face, which is the economy, restrictions to business. For the first time, I think, maybe in history, is it? I don't know. Small businesses have been literally restricted from being able to do business. We no longer have the right, some businesses in this country, to do trade, right? And that's an unprecedented thing for any society to face. And it's a huge price that we're being asked to pay. I believe what we're doing is, I love a good dust up, I love a good bit of competition. But even I, the old fossil that I am, living in the old ways, understand that we are definitely moving into an era of collaboration. We're moving away from that competition. Obviously, we're going to compete for funds, and it's fair competition, and that's always going to be out there. But to understand that actually my enemy is not my competition. You know, our common enemy is the economy. Our common enemy is restrictions that are being placed on us as small business owners. And when we realize, and that great saying that I've always loved, right, and often misquote, and let's see if it comes out right this time, which is, you know, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. I think I've said it right that time. So the enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? No, yeah, that's right. No, I'll get it right the first time and screw it the second time. Right. Damn, I should have quit while I was ahead, right? 1 in 10 people you meet on the street runs a small business, on average. 1 in 10 people. When you go to the supermarket, 1 in 10 people you meet runs a small business owner. We don't think like that, right? We think we're small. Many of us think we're inconsequential, right? 1 in 10 of us run a small business, okay? And I think it's never been more important that we need each other to be successful. And the reason we need each other to be successful is actually, I think we're facing 2 potential futures here, right? And one of those futures is where small businesses start to shrink and we start to lose more and more small businesses, and big mega global corporations have a stronger hold over society and community. I'm massively critical of a lot of big mega global companies, the way they treat the planet, the way they treat their employees, the way they treat us as their clients. And I look at small business owners and I look at how they treat the world and how they treat their clients and what they're doing in constantly trying to contribute back to society and make society a better place. And I've said it before and here, and I've said it many times before, and I'm going to say it again. You know, big mega global corporations dominate society, right? They dominate from the top down. Whereas actually small businesses, we are on the ground. We are the fabric of society, and we need to exert ourselves upwards in society. And I believe society without small business entrepreneurism, society without an increasing number of small businesses being made like we have done over the last 20 years, I think it's a society that is worse for it. And I think as small business owners, we owe it to ourselves to make sure that we survive. We owe it to each other to make sure that we survive. We owe it to our whole business community that we encourage more people into entrepreneurism. I believe the 2 faults are, one is less small businesses and more global mega corporations dominating us. The other one, I believe, is almost going backwards a little bit in society to where we have many, many, many more small business entrepreneurs like we did pre-industrial revolution. We had the I say the accountant, that's definitely today, right? But, you know, we had, you know, the tinker, the tailor, you know, and we had everyone back then was a small business owner. And I think we need to go back to more of that, where small business owners take up their place in society and we realize we are contributing hugely to society. And therefore, it's so important that we need to succeed, because I think at that fault that we are facing now, one of those brings in, I believe, a world that just isn't as good as we would want, and it's not the one that we want to step into. And the other one is a new era of entrepreneurism, and it's something that I've been really passionately speaking about, and one that I think collectively we need to will into existence. Is this one where we have more small businesses, and more small businesses are successful, exerting the positivity that they create in the world out into society, and I think we're all going to benefit from that. And I think really to kind of sum this up, and I suppose to finish this, I guess what I want to do is almost put out a thank you, I think, to all small businesses out there who are out there right now contributing to other small businesses. You know, so many small businesses are service-based businesses. Many of those serve other small businesses. I look at the panel in front of me, you know, and the client bases of the people in front of me. Pretty much most of those are other small businesses. And I think it's so important that, you know, that when I look at the faces in front of me and the people in my club and everything else, the way we've stepped up during this period, even though we've been under unprecedented pressures ourselves in our businesses, but the way that we've stepped up to support other fellow small business owners, I think is, again, unprecedented. And I think that's the power and the beauty of what we've seen over the last 7-8 months. And I think if you look at those aspects of society, you know, how we've come together, how we've supported each other, how we've stepped up and start to genuinely care about other small business owners. If we take that and continue to multiply that and magnify that moving into the future, I think the world is just going to be a much, much, much better place. So obviously, many people on this panel right now, I know, contribute hugely back. Many I know personally have massively stepped up to their own detriment. I'm really interested in what Joe said about taking care of yourself and stuff like that. And I've seen many business owners almost to their own detriment serving. And I think it's time to listen to Joe and to listen to the other people on it, Olly and everyone else, to make sure that we regroup, make sure that we nurture ourselves physically, mentally, emotionally, make sure we build the stabilities in place in our own lives, in our families and in our businesses. And I think it's time to club together, and it's time to lock arms and go out there and fight again. So take care of yourself, regroup, make sure you're fit and healthy, because I tell you now, it's not over yet. We need you, you need you. And it's so important that not only do we survive, we must become more successful. My 3 top tips to finish on is really simple. You must be successful. You must be successful. You must be successful. It's not about surviving. It's not about getting through. You must be successful, because when you're successful, you're better, your clients are better, and the whole of us as a business community are better. And guess what? Society is better as well. So you owe it to us. Be successful.
Thank you, George. Wow. Oof.